Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your ear.
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest in the building.
Mr. Ross.
Yes, he did.
Mr. Slim Ross. That's what you got to call him. Slim Ross.
Still the biggest.
Rose.
Still the biggest boss. What's happening, baby?
What's up, sir?
Man, feeling good.
Hold on, boss.
You've had
Hold
a very
on.
eventful year, to say the least.
Uh-oh. Angela G checking him right fast.
You better believe it. What this is, baby?
Gum.
Oh, okay.
You thought you was passing the
Pass him a
number.
number. Your girl's over there, so I gotta pass you this number.
They still do that. They do.
They give me back the gum.
Yeah, they
Give
do.
me back the gum.
Sweat.
Yeah, this been an eventful year for me, but, me being who I am, we gonna, make it do what it do. We gonna make it work, and we gonna make it a successful year.
So you got a record we're about to blast off in a little bit. Explain this record a little bit.
Well, this is a different record for me, myself featuring the little homie Chris Brown. This is more of a personal record, more of a passionate record. On the chorus, I think y'all gonna really understand what we call homie in the middle of, that night in the studio, him apologizing, talking about, maybe some mistakes he may have made in his personal relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And, the things that come from that. And, I just built the song around that vibe. And, I think it's something that the ladies in the streets gonna really ride with.
Now, you never stopped dropping music. Like our Black Dollars came out. It got a great reception.
Right.
But do you ever feel like you oversaturate the market with music?
Not at all, because that's the way we came in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We came in the game dropping 3 and 4 mixtapes a year. You know what I mean? And that, taking our stocks through the roof. And people that love rose music love new rose music every day.
All right.
Believe that.
Now, Money Dance, you shot in the mansion in Atlanta.
Yeah.
First of all, how much is cleaning that damn mansion in Atlanta? That is huge. Pause.
See, you gotta work out a flat rate with your whole team.
A flat rate.
Yeah, I got a flat rate, you dig?
Now, you were also on the hoverboard. Did you ever fall off that hoverboard, Ross?
Of course.
A lot of people fell up here their first time riding on it.
Luckily, I was in my gym when I was practicing, so we had the rubber floors, and I actually didn't fall off because of a mistake I made, but it actually just cut off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think somebody was riding it on the low, you dig?
And the power went out?
Yeah, and it went out on Renzel, and I kind of had to, tumble over and back up, you dig?
That's when we realized how much weight Ross has really lost. Because you got to be, it's like, what, 230 to be
No,
on
I
it?
think like 250, 260.
I wish I was. I'm at like 270 right now.
Okay.
How much you lost so far?
80 pounds maybe?
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, are you still on house arrest, or is that over with?
Yeah, I'm still on home confinement.
Are
Okay,
you
so
really
what-
in home confinement when you got a house like you got in Atlanta?
I wouldn't mind.
That's not a prison, sir.
I mean, it's kind of what Pablo did. You dig?
That's what reminds me of Pablo, right? He built his own jail. He chilled.
but just real language. You dig? Under the circumstances, I just make the best of it, working the most. We got recording studios. We got, the film team. Shout out to Ryan Snyder, Maybach Films, and we just make it do what it do.
Mm-hmm. Is there still a possibility that you're out on bail right now? So is there still a possibility that you'll go to jail?
I don't talk like that. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
You rebuke that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's the status of the case?
I'm not really liberated to speak on the case right now, but I will let you know that once we put this behind us, it's going to be a conversation we all will sit down and break down and, find some kind of a chuckle or two out of it. But,
Yeah.
as of right now, we just got to make it do what it do.
But it seemed like you getting hit with so much, though. Like you got listed as a defendant in a rape case.
That you weren't even at?
Right. I wasn't, that was an unfortunate situation. That was, a young lady filed a lawsuit and saying she was, taken advantage of. I wasn't in the room. I wasn't named as a defendant, but she sued me.
She sued you? Oh,
Yeah,
my bad, my bad,
she just sued me.
How does that work?
She didn't file any charges from my understanding. It's just called just want to check.
Civil lawsuit.
At the end of the day, yeah.
We've been hearing a lot about that lately. Girls will be around guys, and they'll take the date rape drug, then go to the hospital, get their blood drawn, and then try to get a check.
It's just, for bosses, and the more paper you get, just eliminate as many strangers as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If they on your team, keep them close to you. If not, that's when being a real boss come into play. Reward everybody that's been loyal to you. You know what I mean? Avoid the strangers. But, it's unfortunate, but that's what come with the game.
Were you surprised that they went at you so hard for the one that you're fighting now? I mean, They did it right before BET Award Week, and when you have performances and money, they basically made you stay in the crib where you can't go work. It's like they're trying to drive
and
you
they
out.
held you for a while, seemed like.
Yeah, most
Seems
definitely.
weird for an artist that's out and about so much.
Most definitely, but like I say, I got a great defense team, and we're going to put this all behind us. And once we do, I'm going to really elaborate on it. We're going to get us, we're going to really break this down.
Now, we've seen the guy take pictures on Instagram. Does that help the case? Because it's almost like your lawyer was like, got him.
Hold on, not
you
just
taking pictures with
One
50
of your
Cent.
nemesis posted a picture with the guy.
Yeah, 2 losers.
50 Cent. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 losers, you dig? But at the same time, we're going to make it, it's going to be all good. It's the boss.
Did you realize it was that personal with you and 50 when he did that?
No, I'm going to be honest. It really isn't personal at all with me. I just feel homie a shallow, weak dude. You dig? And you got to be shallow at this point. I'll probably be in my emotions as well as if my first album was titled Get Rich or Die Trying and I filed bankruptcy. I guess his kidneys failed. But either way it go, at the end of the day.
I swear to God, Rob.
Yeah, you like that, right? You like that. Yeah. We keep our foot on their neck. But at the end of the day, with Renzel, with myself personally, I keep it too fly. It's nothing personal with me at all.
Now back to music. Now,
Believe that.
Is this your last album on Def Jam? Because we heard rumors that you
might
be going to another place.
The Epic.
I'm going to be honest. Right now, we're in the middle of renegotiations. It's a lot of people coming to the table. It's a lot of people bringing a lot of new excitement to the table. It is my last album, Def Jam Records. I've been nothing but successful. They've been a part of everything I've created. They helped build, this empire that I'm a part of, and I respect and love them for that. But right now, you know where we at, you dig?
Were you
and
satisfied
most
with
definitely shout out to L.A. Reid, you dig?
Were you satisfied with everything Def Jam has done in your last couple projects? I mean,
not even just his. Omarion didn't do too well.
No,
Gunplay
Omarion's
didn't
not-
do
He's
well.
on Atlantic.
Omarion did excellent.
Atlantic, but
Okay.
he did
Yeah,
good.
Omarion did excellent. I actually just received my gold plaque in the mail maybe this week, in a platinum one.
For the
on
album
way.
or the single?
For the single.
Oh, okay.
I like
gotcha.
the new
Yeah.
song Omarion has out.
That's most
picking up too.
definitely Omarion on flames right now.
So I was asking,
They didn't
what-
promote Gunplay at all, though.
No, they didn't promote Gunplay.
Now,
What would you
Gunplay,
say-
the Gunplay album was most definitely for the streets.
Right.
It wasn't about trying to make it mainstream. It was for all the loyal Gunplay listeners. Let's feed them first and let's build from there up.
But usually when we see a Ross project, and this is from the beginning, I mean, it would be plastered everywhere, but I've
Right.
seen like it's declining, and I know that could be because of the industry. Is that something that you look at when you start renegotiating, or?
It's a lot of things you look at when you're renegotiating, but as far as the street promotions and the street presence, that's always in control of the boss. And as artists, you should always make that your responsibility and no one else's. And that's what I've done. I've spread my hands. I've built one of the biggest, maybe the strongest empire in the rap game, Double MG. I know most definitely one of the most valuable, you dig? And me doing that, I get involved with a lot of things, but we never lose focus on the essence, which is the music. That's what's most definitely what it's about, and that's why we here today, you dig, dropping a new one, and the new album is finna be game-changing once again.
So how does that work? When Def Jam, if Def Jam thinks you're leaving, do they promote you less or promote you more? Because they want to show you like, nah, this is the place for you to be.
Right, depending on the artist. A lot of times, as artists, they tell you on your last album, a label may not support you as much because they're not invested into your future, which is just logical business sense.
Right.
But when you renegotiating, you kind of use that to your advantage. And most definitely, Def Jam is someone that I respect and look forward to. And, I may end up, staying at Def Jam. I may end up at Epic Records.
But you're not looking for you're not doing an artist deal. I'm sure it's gonna be a 50.
This is something, this is going to be a whole nother
Yeah.
situation. We're going
Absolutely.
to educate the culture when we come back and give them the game on this one. You dig?
Now, I saw when Meek first got into it with Drake, you were supportive of him, on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm sure behind the scenes.
Right.
Now, hold on. Now, it was a tweet that was sent out that made it seem like you was in support of Drake. It was
That was a fake tweet.
okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
no, I saw you.
It was
No,
degrading
it's-
that
it's-
sign.
I saw you
yo,
tweeted.
yo.
But if you don't,
yeah, it's certain things y'all just gotta know off top. It's certain things you can't.
They got you, Charlamagne.
You can't even question. You did.
I don't know the greater than, lesser than signs sometimes either. I be having to look to make sure.
I don't even tweet like that. Dudes like me don't use the greater hand, lesser hand. We don't use that. We don't even know what that is.
So now how do you like she said, how do you talk to Meek?
what if
when
you
the
don't
beef is
agree with
happening?
him and
Right.
him starting that? Because obviously, like, a lot of people have had help writing, and in the studio with whatever the
But nah,
circumstances.
He's dead in the middle. He did songs with Drake. Him and Drake
Right,
is cool.
and you and Drake are cool. So do you say, hey, let's talk about this first, or let's strategize, or what do you do?
At the end of the game, for me, my position, I think this is what's good for the culture. Because, coming up in this game, I've seen it, we've all seen it. You will have skirmishes. You will have scrimmages going for that number one spot. You dig? And I feel like really by Meek Mill being my little brother and Drake being my little homie, I really feel like they was two little homies that was in high school on the way from school and fought over a pair of J's. You dig?
Yeah, but usually the big homie stops it. There was no stopping this one.
And when the new J's come out, they back cool. And for me, I really beef. I beef. These records that was released, no one's name was even, mentioned. So like I said,
But it was so blatant, though. Back to back.
I mean, there were memes posted on the screen.
But
Yeah.
it's gonna be that. That's the era we in, but that don't represent what's happening.
Do you still speak?
Don't speak for what's going on. When I started beefing with a certain particular artist, it was a lot of people opinion that I lost or was losing at the beginning, and at that same time, my shows went from 30 to 75,000.
But you know why, though? Because you went hard, though. Like, you kept releasing music. You actually competed.
Right.
Meek didn't really compete.
Which is what I
Right.
feel like
But what
Meek should do.
See, but this is what you got to realize. This is a career. Right now, Meek Mill, I just got off the phone with him. Right now, he making some of the most powerful music he ever made. That's what this does. That's what I'm excited for. The next level.
Right.
What's next? The small talk over with. What's next? That's just like I tell a little homie, let's go and get it. And that's what's gonna happen.
But as a fan of
know,
hip hop, you gotta feel like a little disappointed. We all thought Meek was gonna come with it.
I mean, the little homie was on tour getting money. Getting real money. Real money.
Drake getting some money too. He had time.
I ain't mad at that. But where Meek Mill, you got to realize where Meek come from, his story. Coming up from the streets, beating his cases, coming back to Philly, making it cool to be from Philly again, putting the city on his back, releasing the number one album in the middle of the hurricane, coming back his second album after being incarcerated 6 months, do 250 the first week.
Right.
Clean, got the baddest chick in the game. Can't even put no more dates on the calendars. Who losing? Tripping. You bugging.
He started it.
You
He
bugging.
started it.
That's how it goes.
And you
like
can't
with
get,
you.
you
But
can't
it's-
get
it's-
bodied by the
it-
singing guy.
Nah, what it is, ain't nobody get bodied. If you think that was body, you bugging. That's light work. We got more money we finna go get.
It ain't about money. It's about the
It's
art. But
about,
It's about
and
the
that-
art.
when
and
you
it's
came
about
out-
music.
when
That's the
came
only
out,
way you win.
And they banned you from everywhere, right? When
Who
was going
banned
to-
me?
A lot of people won't play your record.
Nobody banned Renzel,
No
never.
DJ will play your record for a while. A lot of DJs wouldn't play your record.
People
It's a
took
lot of
sides.
DJs
People
know
took
they
sides.
were wrong.
They were,
Yeah.
especially in New York.
They
But
were
this
not
what you got-
playing your records.
Of
right or
course,
wrong.
that's what come with the
But you
game.
kept going. You didn't
That's-
stop.
Thank you, my
Right.
brother. If
Right.
you think the game over with, you tripping.
Right, but Meek stopped.
Meek stopped. Meek ain't even compete.
Nah.
You have viral videos out. You was making some of the best music of your life. You came with it at that moment.
Most definitely, that's what we do. That's how we move. And if you think Meek Mill through, you tripping.
No,
I'm just
nobody
letting you
saying
know
he's
that.
through. He's
Yeah,
far from it.
the music the homie making, and when he drop a bomb, it's a bomb, and y'all gonna drop bombs on that. Yeah.
Now, if Drake
And
sends
Meek-
you a track to get on, is that cool to do, or is it I can't do that right now?
Like I said, that's my little homie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a discussion we gotta have. Which y'all would be surprised if it was a Drake Meek Mill collaboration in the future. That would blow
that was not-
okay
not
then.
in
So
this era.
just
era.
being in the game. It ain't even
He
about
followed
the
him back
era.
on
It's just when it go down. It's gonna be
The reason I
official.
say Eric, because you would never do a song with 50 Cent.
I wouldn't.
But their beef was different, is
Yeah,
what he's saying.
that's light work what they was doing.
But I never thought Jay would do a record with Nas either. They was deep into it as well, so you never know.
Yeah.
And when it's nothing personal to you, when you hear it and it's about the fans, it's about the music, that's what you keep the focus on. you stiff arm all the suckers, of course, you dig.
Can we pop one of these bottles and celebrate your engagement? By the way, I see you have your lovely fiance.
Of course we can.
Lyra, where's Lyra?
How about a glass
Come
of
over
this
here,
brew?
Lyra. Get on the.
They just blew her up. You ain't even ask.
So
her.
is that
Baby, come say what's up to him.
That's real? Y'all really engaged, Rose?
That's my
real.
baby. It's official.
That's what's up.
Some people thought y'all was
Congratulations.
married already.
Oh yeah.
Nah, we not married yet.
Not yet?
Okay.
Nah.
Make sure nothing slid by us.
Yeah, you know, being a boss. The key to being a boss is being able to see and know what you want. You dig?
Right.
And that's what it was here.
What made you want to lock it down at this point?
Nah, I'm passionate about whatever I do, from the music to my hustle, as well as when I deal with women. You dig? And when you see somebody that have that same passion, you dig? You got to handle your business.
Now, this is the first time I've seen you be so open, though, because...
How did you pop the question? How did the Raws pop the question?
No, this is the first time I've seen you be so open, though, because I know, we've heard rumors, he's dating this woman, and that, but this is the first time they on the Snapchat. Look, she's sitting on his lap. They booed up. She got the ring. What did... Let me ask Lyra, what did you do?
She put me on that Snapchat, you dig? When y'all see them snaps,
I'm like, look at Ross
she the one
Snapchatting.
behind them triggers on them snaps, you dig?
Lyra, what do you think
So you
happened?
proposed to her because she gave you a Snapchat? She made you a Snapchat?
All these girls gonna get their man on Snapchat now.
Nah, she most definitely behind them dope late night snaps. You know you be watching my snaps.
Of course. I pay
Lyra,
attention.
talk about your Snapchat. What do you think?
Into the mic.
What do you think got Rick Ross so open?
It's just like when
She a
you,
young boss.
yeah, and when you vibe with somebody and it's like, it just coincides. It's like you can't fake it. Like it's just.
Because you had put up a tweet way back in the day saying that you was gonna marry Rick Ross one day.
I was probably 19 when I did that tweet, and I've always had a crush on him.
Okay.
So when I realized it was like the same thing, it was like, oh shit, like, my
That's
bad.
all right.
I saw you in court. I saw you in court holding your man down.
Yeah, of course.
Now, how did y'all hook up? Like, walk us through how this happened?
Nah. That's y'all got
Going down memory lane.
Ross said that's a separate interview.
You did.
I do want to salute your mom, though, because your mom said some of the trillest advice ever.
My mom is OD true.
That was real.
Very
though.
blunt.
Her mom said, look, I guess somebody was on Instagram
Saying that he
she
had a
been with
girl
Ross,
in Philly.
Whatever. Yeah, and she was like, so what? As long as she in the mansion getting them diamonds and she's the wife, it don't matter.
Which they took completely overboard. Like,
I thought that was real. I think that's a message a lot more women
Shut
need.
up.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But I did hear some rumors about a reality show, though. Is that true at all?
Rose ain't got no reality show.
But perhaps Lyra.
right now she got a lot of things on the table. And to me, it's just like, she a young star. I want to see her blossom. So I just want to see her win. Me being the boss, that's all.
I never
wanna see.
thought this day would come.
It's like that sometimes.
Let's talk about how Ross didn't even have to say nothing, but she knew when to get up and exit the interview.
She felt the
That's a
poke.
different level of pimping.
She a young boss, you dig?
Now,
So do you have a wedding date set yet?
No, we don't.
I want to know how you proposed. How was this?
Here go the biggest ring in the store, you dig? You dig? Now let's go to Budokan, you dig?
I love
get down on one
Budokan.
knee?
Nah, I ain't get down on one knee.
You rode over on the hoverboard with the ring?
I ain't do that, but it was something. It was real cool.
You just know when it's time.
When the stars align.
Or
When the stars align. I done been around the world 8 times, you dig? I done lived a life of 10 dudes, you dig? So, and I'm just going to that next level now. It's real for me.
So that means
I'm at that point.
we're not going to get no more stick it in the a-hole raps.
Well, no, he can still
I
do
ain't
that.
gonna say that. I can't say that, I'm still savage, you dig?
Now, as a CEO, like you got a nice crop of artists. Why do you think
I got really one of the best lineups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do you think Wale isn't as big as he should be? I feel he should be bigger.
I feel Wale talent most definitely is worldwide. It's most definitely global. I feel Wale is a huge artist. Wale last project, I feel he was committed to giving his fans what he gave them, before he even had a major deal, which I most definitely respected. And he back to doing what he do. You dig? And I want to see him keep making the biggest records in the game. Lotus Flower Bomb was the biggest and most played record at Urban for 2013. And, he had countless records on his last album. So Wale most definitely connect with the people that support Wale. And it's just time to, grab the world.
Do you think it's just timing?
It's most definitely timing. It's a lot of different things that come into play when it comes to captivating the universe. You dig?
Right.
And that's what we want to do, because we have raised the bar, because we have set the standards so high so many different times. People can get confused and not understand that this is really hugely successful.
Oh, they take things for granted. Like even with the Black Dollar tape, I feel like people think it's dope, but I don't feel like it had like a crazy impact.
I feel like most definitely people, know what Rose could deliver. They know what Rose do, and I feel this was a well-received project. I think they ready for this new album.
All right.
Yeah, this new album.
Now, you've always been good at doing what you do. Have you ever thought about experimenting? Like, have you ever said, let me try a different, something that my fans might not be accustomed to, a different sound?
We don't really experiment a lot, you dig? But what we do is just build on what we got and take it to that next level. And I think that's what this project is all about. Just touching the streets with Black Dollar and introducing them to the new album, which is titled Black Market.
Now, how did you feel about the advice that your fiance's wife gave to the streets?
I really didn't hear it. I really didn't read it. I really didn't get into it other than, so much that's always said online. And I really didn't get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom got nothing but love. She most definitely.
Is it hard? Is it gonna be hard to be faithful?
It's just all about, at the end of the day, y'all being happy.
Right.
As long as y'all being happy, you gotta be happy. You gotta live, and that's what I am right now. I'm cool. I've been on, like I said, I've been locked in for the last few months, and I've been happy. You dig?
All right.
Yeah.
Now, how is it dealing with all your children's mothers, though? I saw that Lira was in the club, fine, everything's cool with one of them, but then I see Tia going in nonstop. She said you took the car away from her, and, she couldn't take her kids to school, and she was saying that, she's just leaving all kinds of snarky messages about your relationship.
At the end of the day, everybody know the type of father I am. I just think she in a position where she really wish she could be closer to me. You dig? Because my obligations have always been met when it came to me and my kids. She's never told you that something was not handled. It's always something that was personal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see my kids, I like to spend personal time with them, and one may want to tag along with what you can. And right now I'm even more private than I've ever been till I put this situation behind me, so I don't need no nonsense. You dig?
Right.
Other than that, are we tripping? Nah, we know what it is. She want to be on the dream team. Can you be mad at her? Of course not.
She was acting like, I guess people she knew you cool with, like Diddy and LeBron James.
Don't get back the car.
Did any of them hit you and be like, hey, man?
Of course not.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they looked at that as spam. Shit ain't real. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I look forward to you putting this whole legal situation behind you, and so we can, discuss that after it happens. But congratulations and everything. You've always been working hard.
And also, one of your other baby moms got a big payday from your enemy.
Real big.
What you thought of that?
Oh, man. We, it's most definitely useful,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Do you get a piece of that? No.
It's the team.
Got you.
It's always about a team with me. It ain't about me. Whatever I do is for the team, and whatever the team brings to the table is most definitely appreciated.
Did you look at it as like energy, like when you, because he was trying to ruin you, but it ended up hurting him?
Like I say, we was all taught day one, sucker moves get sucker results. I had those opportunities put on the table for me. I had opportunities where, another particular artist called me two-way with homie baby moms on the phone, and we could have did this, and she was all in for it, and I said, how much? Y'all niggas crazy. Rose phone, boy, I'm finna go buy a Benz. You niggas tripping and shoot me a viral or something. And we just don't play like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to gain going at anyone other than who I'm focused on. Nothing.
Well, the single is out this Friday. You can pick it up on iTunes. We're about to play it during the People's Choice mix.
It's a single with Chris Brown.
Tell them about the single one more time.
Oh, man, this is my new single off my new album titled Black Market, which will be in stores this December. This is Rizzle at his finest. Shout out to Chris Brown. He really poured his heart out on this one. I believe everybody gonna, understand and relate to, this record and understand he was speaking on, I'm pretty sure one of his past relationships as of recent and some of the things that may have occurred to them breaking up, and it's gonna be a real dope record.
Does this make you pour your heart out too?
It most definitely made me approach the record in a different vibe. You dig? Because he most definitely was that sincere, that passionate about the joint. So I most definitely had to, write it with that in mind.
And can you let my South Carolina people know that people in Florida are Geechee too? Like the Geechee Gullah thing goes across.
See, this is what you got to realize is in Florida coming up, there was always people we ran across that was Geechee. And when I was young, saying you was Geechee was never the cool thing. You dig? So anybody that was Geechee, you wouldn't know until later on. What? You dig? So.
I was like, what just happened?
What just happened?
And so that's where me putting it on one of my aliases coming from is just really showing love and embracing that. So if you thought that was something to look down on, it's not. It's powerful. It's Southern. I'm from the South.
Even Trick used to always say, I'm a Geechee ass.
Yeah. He used to eat pig's feet straight out of the bucket, you did? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever eat pig's feet?
No,
out the
I never.
bucket?
But my grandfather definitely used to eat pig's feet.
He used to soak them in vinegar.
Yeah, I don't know what he did with them, but I used to see them floating
You
in
used
the
to
kitchen.
eat.
Definitely never ate
You
no
used to
pig's feet.
eat the hooves.
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
you did.
She was neglected
I mean-
as a child, Ross. She ain't never been to Disney World.
I've never
bro.
been to Disney World,
Yeah.
but I definitely wasn't eating no pig's
Again,
feet.
as your label is saying, you can pick up the record this Friday on iTunes. Make
Black
sure you
Bottle
pick it up.
Boys in the building. Black Bottle Boys, what's up? When we gonna bust a
Now,
bottle?
Def Jam.
Well,
Now
wait.
you want to. Now you want to do your job, huh?
I
Def
thought we was
Jam?
gonna have a little
Hey, man,
toast to
hey.
the album, to the engagement.
We should have a toast too. Let's have a toast, of course, myself, the lovely Lira Galore, as well as, the Rick Ross renegotiations that's going on.
Yes,
All right.
Def Jam better step up to the plate.
We love Def Jam, Epic Records, L.A. Reid. It's another name of 2 or 3. We won't say at this point. You dig? You dig?
All right. It's the
Pressure's
Breakfast
on.
Club. It's Rick
Rose.
Ross.